The vaccine killed your spouse. It's all your fault. You murdered, it's all these things, but it all goes back to that vaccine. And the key words were died suddenly.
Late last year, Trisha's husband came home from a day's work as a maintenance man in their housing complex, collapsed on the carpet and died of a sudden and unexpected heart attack.
I'd known him since 7th grade. Our life went separate ways, but we met back up just as we were both going through divorces in 2015, and we got married in 2021, and then he died a year, 4 months later.
It was an everyday tragedy. A man in his 40s with high blood pressure and a pre-existing health condition. He'd lost 2 brothers in quick succession just months earlier. Trisha thinks the stress of it affected his health. But when Trisha shared the news of her husband's death online, looking for some support, in amongst words of condolence, she began to receive a flood of more sinister messages.
Apparently the combination of the words died suddenly coincided with some movie that was coming out about that time, and that's what maybe triggered some of it, and got so many of them to constantly, the vaccine killed your husband, the vaccine killed your spouse.
Somebody mentioned to go onto Google and go into the news section and then type in died suddenly.
The film, called Died Suddenly, claims baselessly that people are suddenly dropping dead in large numbers, and COVID vaccines are to blame. Now any sudden death announced on social media, no matter the cause, can be used as evidence for this conspiracy theory.
When you see people attacking your healthcare decisions and how you take care of your family in your own home, and telling you that that's responsible for killing your spouse while you already feel like crap because you didn't recognize the signs of a heart attack, it puts you down some dark holes after a while, it does.
The belief that swathes of people are being killed by COVID vaccines has become a significant one within the anti-vaccine community. It's driving mistrust in public health advice. But in this case, it's also driving a mistrust so deep, it even extends to doubting what bereaved people are saying about their own loved one's death.
And then you find out they were vaccinated. Something's causing this. Somebody needs to look into it.
The film's creator, Stu Peters, has built up hundreds of thousands of followers and millions of views across different platforms. I wanted to speak to him online. When I joined the call, it became apparent he'd rented a warehouse especially for the occasion and had brought his own crew to film the interview in order to get his own distorted message out. Several of the clips that you show are from people passing out before COVID vaccines were available. Many of them did not die. Did you include them by mistake, or were you deliberately trying to mislead?
So here we go. Okay, so this is an attempt to try to discredit me or the film, rather than talking about the millions of people that are dying.
But if millions of people are dying, why didn't you use them as examples? Keontae Johnson collapsed in December 2020 before the vaccines were available. He's still alive and well. He played in the National College Basketball Championship this year. Why did you include him in the film?
We released a film that has saved millions and millions of lives. You know that, I know that. You've been sent here to discredit it. You'll have to take that up with God. Look, I gave this platform to God, okay? I'm on a very specific mission, and that is to expose lies that are killing people.
I put several other errors to him. The headline actually about a man who died in a car crash in 2017. The American football player Damar Hamlin, who collapsed after colliding with a fellow player. And when I ask him if he's sorry for the harassment of people like Trisha his film is inciting, he showed no remorse.
As that begins to trend and as that continues to grow, all we're doing is saving more lives. I think that's awesome.
But Stu Peters doesn't seem to want to answer any of my direct questions about the film's message, which is miles away from the weight of scientific evidence.
There is no evidence whatsoever that vaccines have been associated with any increase in mortality.
The Died Suddenly film has been far-reaching. But exclusive research for the BBC has found evidence of coordinated and inauthentic activity by accounts sharing the link and the hashtag, which seems to have helped it go viral. Previously, content like this might have been removed from Twitter under its old COVID misinformation policies. Now, the site seems to have played a significant role in helping this film and the associated misinformation and harassment take off. I asked Twitter about this, but they didn't respond to my questions. For Trisha, though, the problem is much more profound.
People are going out looking for what they already believe. They're looking for that confirmation of their own biases. They are not looking for actual facts, actual truth. They don't want to know